Let's be honest, if you're running Google Ads, there is a very, very good chance you are wasting money and you don't even know it. So in this explainer, we're going to fix that. Let's dive right into the complete guide on how to hire the right Google Ads freelancer in 2026 so every single dollar you spend actually starts working for you.
Does this hit a little too close to home? You know the feeling. You set up a campaign, you toss in some keywords, and you just watch your budget evaporate with almost nothing to show for it. You are not alone, I promise. But it absolutely does not have to be this way. The problem isn't Google Ads itself. It's about who's behind the wheel.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we're going to cover what a great manager actually does day to day. Then we'll get into the numbers. What can you expect to pay? After that, I'm going to give you 6 crucial questions you have to ask anyone you're thinking of hiring. We'll cover the red flags to watch for, and finally, exactly where to find these experts and how to get started. So let's start right there. What does a good manager actually do? Well, the solution to all that wasted ad spend is a skilled Google Ads manager. And you really need to think of them less as a cost and more as your partner in making your advertising truly profitable. At their absolute core, this is their job. They're the specialists who stand between your budget and your results. Their entire purpose is to plan, build, and, most importantly, constantly optimize your campaigns to make sure you're getting the absolute most bang for your buck. And things have gotten a lot more complex. In 2026, it's not just about those simple text odds anymore. A real expert today needs to be fluent in Performance Max campaigns, which let you advertise across all of Google's channels at once. They need to know Google Shopping for e-commerce, how to run killer YouTube video ads, and even local services ads if you're a local business. And of course, they have to master remarketing. That's how you bring back all those people who visited your site but didn't buy. Okay, let's get to the question that's on everyone's mind. What is this all going to cost? We're about to break down the pricing so you can actually budget for this and really understand what you're paying for. So, what's the ballpark? Well, the overall range for specific jobs or one-off projects is pretty wide, usually landing somewhere between $38 and $172. But that's a huge range, right? It really depends on what you need them to do. So let's get a little more specific. This table really clears things up. See, a one-time web analytics setup to make sure your tracking is right might average around $38. But for that ongoing, day-to-day search engine marketing and ad management, you're looking at an average of about $165. Display ads are a little less, around $136, and that high-level marketing strategy work, that's at the top end, around $172. Now for ongoing work. Freelancers usually use one of 3 models. The most common is a flat monthly retainer, just a fixed fee every month. Some prefer a percentage of your ad spend, usually somewhere between 10 and 20%. And for those smaller specific tasks, like an account audit, an hourly rate is pretty common. The key here is not to just look at the cost, but to focus on the potential return. Okay, you know what they do? You know what they cost? Now, how do you find a great one? This next part is your vetting process. These 6 questions are designed to immediately help you tell a real expert from someone who just knows the buzzwords. This first question is so critical. Why? Because industry experience is everything. The keywords, the ad copy, the strategies that work for a local plumber are totally different from what works for an online clothing brand. An expert who already knows your market doesn't have to learn it on your dime. Now, listen very closely to their answer here. A real pro is going to talk about campaign architecture, how they organize ad groups for tight control. They'll mention using different keyword match types to control who sees your ads, and they must have a clear process for testing, constantly testing ads and landing pages to improve performance. Remember, a messy account is a money pit. What you're listening for is a data-driven answer, not some vague promise. A great freelancer will shift the conversation from spending money to investing money. They'll talk about focusing your budget on the campaigns and keywords that are actually working and making constant small adjustments based on real performance data. A weak answer here is just, oh, I use the keyword planner. A great answer involves a whole strategy. They should mention tools like Google's Keyword Planner, sure, but also competitor analysis, thinking about customer intent, and, this is the secret sauce, building out huge lists of negative keywords. That's what stops you from wasting money on totally irrelevant clicks. This is absolutely non-negotiable. If you can't keep score, you can't win the game. A good answer has to include setting up proper conversion tracking and using Google Analytics 4. They should also be able to tell you exactly what metrics they'll be reporting on and how often you can expect to get updates. Google Ads is a moving target. It is always changing. A top professional lives and breathes this stuff. So ask them to name a couple of recent updates to the platform. If they struggle or can't name any, that is a huge red flag. It shows they're not really engaged in their own field and they're probably using outdated strategies that will just cost you money.
All right, let's build on those questions with a quick cheat sheet. Think of this as the warning signs you need to run away from and the positive signals that tell you you've probably found a winner.
Let's break this down. Over on the left, the red flags. If anyone guarantees you a #1 ranking or a specific result, you walk away. No one can promise that. If they won't give you full admin access to your own ad account, that's an absolute deal breaker. And if they jump right in without asking about your actual business goals, or if they don't mention conversion tracking in that first chat, they are not a pro. Now contrast that with the green lights on the right. You're looking for deep analytical thinking, a real instinct for writing ad copy that gets people to click, and proactive communication. You should never ever have to chase them for an update. Okay, home stretch. You know what to look for and you know what to avoid. So where do you actually find these people? And how do you get the ball rolling? This is your action plan. You know, one of the best places to find top talent these days is on a platform like Fiverr, but you have to know what to look for. First, look for an official Google Ads certification from Google Skillshop. Check their portfolio for real case studies, not just empty claims. And read the verified reviews. You want to see clients mentioning a positive return on investment, or ROI, and talking about how great their communication was. Once you find a few people who look good, just follow this simple process. First, get crystal clear on your own goals and your budget. Second, send them a detailed message about your business and what you're trying to achieve. Third, and this is a pro tip, start with a smaller project, like an account audit or a 1-month trial, before you commit to a long-term contract. And finally, agree on all the reporting expectations before any work begins. And just to help you plan, here's a realistic timeline. The average delivery time for a new search ad management project is about 16 days. It might take 1 to 3 weeks to get everything set up, and then you'll have a 30 to 90-day learning period where the optimization really kicks in. Before you go, I want to make sure you have everything you need to take action today. I have put together a complete written guide that goes even deeper into everything we covered in this explainer. It includes the full pricing table, all 6 hiring questions with detailed explanations, the red flags to avoid, the step-by-step hiring process, and where to find the top-rated Google Ads freelancers right now. The link is right there in the description below. Click it, read through the full guide, and you will know exactly what to look for and what to avoid when hiring a Google Ads expert for your business. If this explainer saved you from making a costly hiring mistake or helped you understand what you should be paying for Google Ads management, do me one favor. Hit the like button right now. It takes 1 second and it helps this video reach more business owners who need to see it. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and drop a comment below telling me, are you currently running Google Ads yourself, or are you looking to hire someone to manage them? I read every single comment and I will reply. Thank you so much for watching.